Hi, my name is Brianna Carroll, and here's my oral presentation on the Great American Speaker. And here's my audience. And here is my neatly outline. I want to inform you all about the great African American speaker Malcolm X and the life and great speeches that Malcolm X has given. Malcolm X has carved his name in history through the many things that he has done in his life, which has been criticized by many people even to this day. The human rights activist has been praised for fighting to gain rights for the black citizens of America during his time. On the other hand, many of his preachings and speeches have brought accusations of racism and violence in the context of his words with his actions. Malcolm X's life. He was born on May 19, 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska. His father was an outspoken Baptist minister who was a supporter of a black nationalist leader, Marcus Garvey, leading him to be murdered. His body was found lying across the town's trolley tracks. His mother was admitted into a mental institution while her children were split into different foster homes. He used his time in school to further his education. Malcolm's brothers, Renildo, would come visit him and discuss with him his recent conversions to the Muslim religion. Malcolm was intrigued and started studying the teachings of N.O. leader Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm devoted a devoted follower with the new surname X. As a speaker, Malcolm was appointed as a minister and national speaker for the Nation of Islam. Malcolm was featured on television specials, newspapers, and the radio. Was said to be one of the most important leaders of human rights during his time. Malcolm X communicated to his audience by words. He also used his facial expressions and hand gestures to fully communicate with his whole audience. His facial expressions, hand gestures, and emphasis on words and phrases presented his attitude, beliefs, and values on the independence of the African American people, as stated by the oratorio of Malcolm X. Also stated by the oratorio of Malcolm X, he was very wise when it came to speaking in front of a large audience. He was used his education in very advanced ways of speaking to incorporate the uses of metaphors, rhyming words, references to major literary works that the United States was built and shaped from. Public speaking blog Robert Terrell sees Malcolm X as first and foremost public speaker and the Nation of Islam's prophetic rhetoric ultimately becoming confining in his attempt to address political as well as religious matters. And by any means necessary, widely considered to be one of the greatest speeches, Malcolm greets both his friends and enemies, which brought audience laughter only seconds into his speech. His use of personal stories as well as the themes that are highly relatable were taken very positively by the viewers. Something that many preachers do, and Malcolm does very efficiently, is pausing for effect, and it really works well in his speeches. Malcolm X's death, there were many attempts at trying to murder Malcolm during his strongest time of popularity. At a speaking engagement in Manhattan's Abdul Ballroom on February 21, 1965, 3 gunmen rushed Malcolm on stage, shooting him 15 times at a very close range. Malcolm was pronounced dead at the age of 30 on arrival at New York's Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. His legacy leads on. 1,500 people attended Malcolm's funeral on February 27, 1965. Malcolm's assassins, Talmadge Hayer, Norman Butler, and Thomas Johnson were convicted of first-degree murder in March 1966. The men were members of the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X's legacy had moved on through many generations as books, movies, and documentaries. In conclusion, today, many people still live by Malcolm's way of living and words. Even today, racism is strong as it was back in the day with recent shootings of Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown. It has really let people know how the world hasn't changed in terms of its cultures toward the black people and races in general. Malcolm was way ahead of his time with his preachings and thoughts. His speaking ability was able to cause a movement that was strong and enough to persuade millions of people into believing his words. And here for my works edits, I have the biography, the official Malcolm X, and the biography of the Ontario Malcolm X, and the public speaking blog. The end.